Alright boys, put your game face on, it's Clash Royale time. Alright, so we'll start this off with a little bit of a walkthrough. So I'm waiting for my elixir to fill. That's what you should always do at the beginning of each round. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get my spirit goblins ready to answer that knight that the other player dropped. Alright, both of these are 3 elixir cards, so it's a pretty much even trade on the elixir cost. Alright, they drop minions. I shouldn't have dropped the knight there, but I chose to give leeways and then back it up, double down with the mini P.E.K.K.A. before I answered with these arrows. Alright, I need to answer this prince that's coming down my way, so I'm going to distract them with the skeletons. Alright, that prevents that prince from getting access to my prince's tower. Alright, so continuing on, I'm going to go ahead and split the archers behind my king tower. Alright, this will get me a player in each lane at this point, so that will require some kind of response on their end. Alright, so so they choose to go with the musketeer. So I'm going to go ahead and get my giant in the back. That gives me a little bit of time for my elixir to refill before the giant gets into position in that lane. That allowed me to drop the musketeer and also the mini P.E.K.K.A. Alright, the mini P.E.K.K.A. will put in some work on their giant, and the musketeer will help finish it off. Alright. Alright, so we have archers to answer my giant muskie. And then in addition, they drop prince. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get my spirit goblins and try to drop them midfield. This will allow both of my princess towers to target that prince and whittle the health down. And just like that, didn't even get a hit. Alright, so I can continue my push up that lane with my giant and my minions, just like from the first episode. Alright. And it is definitely putting in some work, so we can take this tower down very quickly and make our way towards the king tower. Right? And all this is basically just effectively putting cards in the right spots. Alright. Of course, they got that the prince again up there, and they dropped the fireball, but it pretty much was worthless at that point. Alright, so they're going in for another push. I'm going to put skeletons in the back. That will distract that prince and not allow the prince to keep pushing the giant. Alright, the giant did make it to the tower, but it's not that big of a deal. Alright, and then they get desperate and throw another fireball. Doesn't really matter, because that's a good game. Alright, so we'll take a look at another round. Alright, this is again the beginning hand with the Dragons mod account. This time around I chose to go with a bluff, at least that's what I call it, where I'm dropping a higher elixir cost card in the back, allowing it to work its way up the lane and rebuild my elixir over that time before it actually gets to the bridge. Then I go ahead and drop my musketeer. Alright. And it looks like they're going to attempt to put a giant on the other lane and push that side since I'm pushing the other one. Alright, these are these opposite lane pushes that can work in harmony together. Alright, they're going to need to answer one of these lanes, so they got to make a choice here, right? They chose to answer the lane on the right, which left them vulnerable on the left, even with the minions that they put in play. Didn't really work out for them. Alright. At this point, all I need to do is stay on them, and I can take this particular round pretty easily. Alright, and just in case we dropped that P.E.K.K.A., but we didn't even need it. Alright, let's switch things up. So here we go. Alright. Alright, so king towers are a little uneven, which is not exactly great, but as I said in the first video, don't let that fool you. With the right play of cards, you could easily take down someone of a higher level, so something to always be aware of. Alright, so I'm gonna put my rascals over here to get the Valkyrie to come my way. Might as well make use of the whole bum rush over there. Yeah, that was a little unfair. So, yeah, we're just jumping into as many battles as quickly as possible, and I'll try to cut out some of that other stuff that's in the way. Alright, a little bit higher level of a tower. Go straight for the bridge this time. Alright, so this is clearly what we call a control style deck that this player is attempting to run with. Alright, and that's totally fine. But, in the meanwhile, I'm gonna run up the outside. Or attempt to, at least a little bit. Alright. Might as well drop the balloon, why not? Alright. We'll play her game. Alright. It's becoming pretty evident. This is actually a pretty good player that I'm going against right now. Rocking and rolling. Drop the witch, knowing that he's probably going to keep dropping this hunter on me, and that's okay. Drop some aerial control on it, my dragon. Alright. Drop some bait over here in the middle for them to go after. We'll drop the balloon in after just to clean it up if we need to. But looks like we didn't need to. This one is one of the most goofy ones I've ever built. Alright. It does have a very quick rotation because it's a 3.1 average elixir cost deck. But this is mainly focusing around skeletons in almost every single account except for the bats. Alright. And bats is really, they're just there to give me a little bit more control of the sky. But let's rock this one out and see how it goes. Alright. Now really the interesting part about this particular deck is the fact that it can be so annoying to play against. Alright. Okay. That's why we needed those bats earlier. But with one good, how do you say, one good wizard, or, I mean, you could pretty much just game over it. But this one is just kind of silly at this point. Right. And it can get even more silly if you want it to. Don't lock up on the game. Yeah, I know. That was just kind of goofy. Alright, there we go. I don't really understand why he killed that guy. That's fine. We'll charge the other one with some bombs. Yeah. That's just a hateful hand. But if you want to see those cards again for that particular deck, alright, that's the witch, giant skeleton, your basic skeletons, your bats, your guards. Of course, these could be boosted according to this, right? Wall breakers, the bomber, and of course your skeleton army. Alright, just an all-around goofy deck to play with. Alright, this is a double spell deck. Alright, we'll give this one a go. This one is one of my favorites that I used to use all the time when I played competitively. I think I went like 20, maybe 30 in a row with this particular hand at one point.
Showtime! Thunderball!
Because I'll mix it up, I'll do some weird stuff, and they're like, why did you do that? But it's what we call chip damage that's being implemented at that point. Right. And we're both getting a little bit of that in there. Right. But what I'm looking for now is, as my little rascal's coming over here, I'm going to go ahead and throw this card in that protects it a little bit as I'm waiting to kind of get in there. Alright. This is a pretty good mix-up, because what we've got going on here is kind of like what I had going on before initially. My last card setup, right? That's cool. We're probably going to take this one, but we'll see. Totally cool. Took a tower. Throw that miner up there. Okay. I think I used to use Zap in this hand. That helped out quite a bit. Of course, it doesn't seem to be the case here, right? Coming from the... Oh, nice. It's got a balloon. That was clever. Now we're going all in on this dude. It's alright, we'll go for it again. Don't worry. Aww. Oops. Alright everybody, that wraps up episode 2 of Clash Royale. If you'd like to see more episodes, then make sure you are subscribed to the channel, give this video a like, and if there is a deck that you would like to see me play next time, then go ahead and comment below. Alright, and I'll see you next time.